Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and get straight into it, Sophia. So go ahead and give the audience a little bit of intro into yourself, background into where you came from, what you're currently doing right now. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. A little bit about me. I always had sales experience. I started in the luxury retail industry, and then I came across a high ticket offer to work for Manny Koshbin in the high ticket space, and I crushed it. And then, kind of transitioned into becoming an agent full time. And that's what I did before I met AJ. And then he connected me on an awesome high ticket offer. So super excited to be here.
Okay, perfect. Appreciate that. And if you guys are new to the channel and you guys don't know me, my name is AJ. I'm the founder of two companies. The Concierge, my first company, I was able to scale it to a $5 million a year client portfolio in 8 months, which led me to start my second company, Innovate, where we place world-class talents with world-class founders, which is exactly why you're going to get Sophia's breakdown here today. So the way that it's going to work, I'm going to go into Sophia's background before she met me or even anything about the company, right? Where she was before us, during, and then after. Okay. So let's get straight into it. So actually, Sophia, because I don't know anything about your background, you're a very unique case.
Yeah.
Let's go into your sales background a little bit. Walk us through what you were kind of doing. I know you gave us like a little overview.
Right. Yeah, so essentially on my previous high ticket offer, it was a commercial real estate offer. It was a startup company. We were doing really well. I was, the top producer there. I did over $1 million in sales. And then I was just so motivated to get into real estate industry myself. So I decided to pursue that, get my real estate license, and then become an agent full time. Um, and I was successful at, my first deal I ever closed was listed at 2.18 million. I represented the sellers and actually sold the home in 3 days, full cash offer. Um, and that just attests to my work ethic and the marketing strategies I had when all of the other homes in that particular neighborhood were sitting over 120 days. So, that was like my first deal. You could call it beginner's luck, but I had that goal of hitting that, one transaction a month. And the biggest challenge for me was just leads, and, marketing and finding people that I could actually list their home or even represent buyers. So I decided to, look back for another high ticket offer, and that's kind of how we got connected.
Yeah. Okay. You bring up an interesting point because I was going to ask, like, you obviously you were an agent, but
Mhm.
what were like the challenges? Like, why did you kind of want to pursue high ticket sales? I'm actually curious.
Well, with high ticket, you don't have to do much outbound work at all. You just, everything's booked on your calendar for you, so you don't have to go searching for leads, or do any marketing. So
Yeah.
it's basically just handed to you. You just have to close the deal. And clearly I closed the deal when I had the listing, at 2.18 million, but I just wanted that more, constant. And it was really difficult for me to kind of get my foot in the door.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So with real estate, well, the biggest challenges were probably finding leads, you said.
Yes.
Okay. What's led you to kind of pursue high ticket? Like, did you go through any like high ticket sales training or did you just instantly like how did you find it?
So I just found an offer on Instagram, and that was with Manny, and went through like 3 interviews. Never have done, high ticket previously. And I think they just saw the potential. And that's where I got most of my training was actually on my first offer. And that's just how it happened.
Also, Manny's pretty big in the real estate industry, right? Like he's
Yeah.
probably one of the biggest. Nice. Okay. So I guess also with the wholesale real estate, what was the most or sorry, not wholesale, real estate. What was the most that you were bringing in with that? Because I know you said it was like a little hard to get your foot in the door. What was the most you were able to like bring in with that?
Yeah,
Then
well, I closed essentially one deal in 6 months. If you do the math at 2.5%, about 50 grand. And then you obviously have a, brokerage split. So,
I'm not personally familiar.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. That's why I asked.
Yeah, usually like a 80-20 split with the brokerage.
Okay. Nice. Nice. So let's kind of touch on that. That's a little bit about your background, right? How you got into sales, high ticket sales, where you were before, right? Let's go into a little bit about how you actually found me and Innovate, and kind of where you are today, right now. So, like, I believe
Mhm.
through LinkedIn or something. LinkedIn.
I mean, it was pretty unique. I honestly, was applying for other jobs,
Yeah.
and sending my information, and unfortunately, they couldn't use me. But they had sent my information, my, resume. I had a video like intro about me, and they sent that to you, and then somehow you found me. So it was kind of a unique experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, yeah, because you got connected through another business.
Right.
What was your experience when you first honestly met me? Because Innovate was still completely brand new, complete
Yeah.
startup. What were your first initial thoughts? You could be honest too.
I am gonna be honest. So when you called me and this random guy is saying like, "Hey, I'm, AJ from Innovate," and like I, help people, get placed on offers, and I just feel like I've dealt with that before. I've been around the block. They
Yeah.
always have something to sell me, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna pay to find a job because I already have, stellar experience, and I don't need to go through any coaching or anything like that. Because sometimes people would, pay someone like you to learn about high ticket sales and then get placed on an offer. But I
Yeah.
was already past that step. So I was like, either, this is the real deal or he's just trying to sell me something.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess why did you take that call then in the first place? 'Cause I know like everyone is running like these placement offers. Oh, I'll place you on an offer. You can make 100K a year, right? 110K a month, right?
Yeah.
So
Why did I take the call? I take every call because you never know when opportunity is going to present itself. And when preparation meets opportunity, you get success.
yeah. So for the people, I know you didn't actually get to use the Innovate features because you instantly got placed because of your resume. As soon as you got into the pool, I got hit by at least 10 different businesses on your profile. So
Yeah.
how seamless was it for you to get placed on an offer?
Um,
And
It
what was your
couldn't be
experience?
more
Well,
seamless. It was like 24 hours, I think. You basically had said someone saw my video and they just absolutely loved it and they want me on their team. And I was like, okay, I'll see it when I believe it. I took the interview with them and they were just like, completely startup new company. But I knew I could bring a lot to the table and they could see that as well. So it was just sort of like an immediate connection.
yeah. Yeah, let's touch up on that because obviously you went through the process. You instantly got placed, but overall with the company as well, because a lot of people watching this, they want to know like the quality of Innovate. Is this really real? Like the companies you're getting placed with, right? So, I know I connected you with Danny. Like, how was it with him, and how is the company atmosphere right now?
Mhm. It was really great. When I first started with the company and just getting introduced with them, they were new, they were a new company. They didn't really know what questions to ask me, but I already knew that, I had been successful in this space. And the biggest thing I, ensured or, at least just asked them and clarified was like, do you have the lead flow necessary to actually scale and to hire someone on the team? Because this is a commission only position. So I needed to know if I was going to commit to you that you at least had, the opportunity for me to be successful. And they did.
Yeah. So, like, you bring up a good point because that was one of the biggest caveats when it came to the concierge. Two things that I ran into was one, I didn't have enough founders that were actually pulling 7 figures a year. Like
Hmm.
I thought everyone was rich when I got into this space, but like there's not a lot of businesses and offers that are pulling,
Hmm.
100K a month, right? Which is if your industry standard 10%, that's 10K a month in payroll for a closer, right? There just weren't enough of those in the space. And then second, there wasn't enough good reps like yourself to be working with these companies that can actually generate, 7 figures. It was like a two-way street. Those are the two biggest things. And that's why it
Right.
led me to start Innovate. And I know they were a startup, but a lot of the people are probably wondering how much were you able to bring to the company within that first month that you guys started? Because it is a startup, but how much were you guys able to do in that first month?
Yeah, it was so insane. I mean, they pretty much brought me in and they gave me the reins. They're like, okay, you have experience, you do what you know is best. So I developed the whole sales process. Like I developed the script, really invested a lot in this company. And that will take me far, right? So to be able to come in and kind of just sort of do what I wanted or have my confirmation text a certain way or reach out to these people the way that I was comfortable, that's what allowed me to really grow because I wasn't in like a strict rule or had to go by a certain script they gave me. I just created my own. So it really allowed me to reach, success. And, I'm the only closer. I have never closed at a 47% close rate before. I'm almost at a 50% close rate. Um, so that being said, in my first month, we had a goal to hit 150,000 cash collected, and I actually surpassed that.
Really interesting. So it also sounds like you're not just a closer. It sounds like you're doing more than closing. How much was that first month for you guys? Because I know your goal is 150. How much
Mhm.
did you guys top out at?
Oh, it was just over 150,000. And the crazy thing was we were coming down to the last day. I mean, I was working Saturdays. I wanted to make sure that, I was going to bring in and meet that goal. Because that's just my driven personality. When I set a goal, I'm going to meet it. So that being said, we were coming down to the last day. We were $400 short of 150,000. And I picked up that phone. I started calling everyone that I didn't close for like our lower ticket offer. And, that's priced at 1,500. And I said, I'm just $400 short. Let me see if I can just get someone in for 400 like now and then put them on like a payment plan. They can pay the rest like next month.
Yeah.
So 10 people I dialed, one person. I basically just told them like this is the opportunity. Sometimes they just need help, encouraging them to take that step because they're afraid. They've never done it before. It's kind of a new, territory for them. So by the end of my call with this guy, he ended up thanking me and he paid me with his credit card the exact amount that I was short that I needed. We got in that $400. I hit my goal. And he ended up thanking me for calling him and actually encouraging him to take that step. So he paid me and still thanked me for reaching out and like making it work for him.
Interesting. Okay. 150 cash collected too. This isn't revenue. This is cash for the business.
No, revenue was almost a quarter million.
Okay. So let's do some like quick math real quick. That's not just like yes, it's a startup, but that's you don't really find that in this space. I don't know how long you were in the high ticket sales space, but
Yeah,
that company's on a run rate to do $3 million a year. You did with you. Just,
with
just,
just
just,
me.
just. So I know that company's gonna insanely grow, but like, and
Mhm,
I don't want you to short yourself on the achievement for that because, like you said, they were a startup. So
mhm.
that business, the blood flow of that business is you. You're able to generate that company $3 million a year.
Right. And I like to say that and it's an accomplishment for me because that's recognized. They know that they couldn't do this without me and it's paying off. I'm making good money, but soon when we grow, potentially going into a sales management position, coaching, other sales reps is definitely where I see myself kind of growing with this company.
Yeah, I can send you more. Always. I have an unlimited supply. I can send you. You can go and manage them. But yeah, like that's like I don't know how long you've been in the sales space, but when I started out, you don't you don't get those. But more importantly, the skill set that you brought to that company and like the value you brought to that company is that's invaluable. You're not
Thank
you're
you.
not you're not gonna find that on Facebook really or LinkedIn too often. It's like one in a dozen where you can find a person that's actually reliable right? That knows exactly what they're doing. That's not going to churn in like 6 months, right? That is committed to a company that can generate them multiple seven figures. It's really
Right,
hard, especially
right.
in the day and age right now. It's extremely, extrememely hard.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to short yourself on being able to generate that for a company. So I guess we're going to come to the end here. I know we talked about today your experience with Innovate. And I guess this is more so for me. It's kind of like, what's the outlook for Sophia now? Obviously, you're making really good money with this company. You're obviously going to grow in that company. You kind of built the entire, it sounds like your sales process too, your
Yeah.
scripts too.
I created the whole script. Just, I knew what would work and I created a flow. And I do have to mention, this is going to blow your mind. So, my first day with the company, I only had one call and I closed one of one at a $10,500 offer, just straight up pay in full. The second day, I only had one call because the other person, they started me slow, right? They didn't want to
Yeah.
overwhelm me. The other person rescheduled. So I ended up closing them at a pay in full at 10.5. And then the third day was the exact same thing. So my first 3 days with this company, I had a 3 of 300% close rate, all pay in full. And when they saw that, they're just like, we trust Sophia. And that's it.
Okay, no, I didn't know that. That's insane. So you went three for three.
Yeah.
You 30K to the company, not revenue, cash collected. Then what? 72 hours, 56, 57 hours?
I know. I was speechless too, but I knew that that's what I was capable of. So yeah, it was expected.
Yeah, yeah. Well, world-class talent with world-class founders. That's like that's exactly why I started Innovate because people
Mhm.
like yourself, we know that, all right, we have a good skill set. We don't need to go through these little tiny 2K a month, right, offers. Like you don't need to do that anymore because like they'll max out at like 50K a month with their personal brands. But like a real company that
Mhm.
has lead flow would spend thousands
Yeah.
for, a rep like yourself.
Mhm.
So no, I think the people got a lot of good insight into you, Sophie, and you're obviously testimonial or whatever. But last couple questions before I go. Okay.
Yeah.
With this company that you're currently at right now,
Mhm.
what do you think that next goal is for you, right? Obviously, you wouldn't step into, I think, a managing role, but I guess for the next, let's say, by the end of the year, what's it look like for you and what's it look like for the company?
Yeah, I mean, Danny, he, invested in a mentorship program for himself and just to really scale his, part on the delivery, because that's really important. That's what makes or breaks an offer is having that sort of delivery and fulfillment. Um, and that's how we're trying to scale. So to be able to do that, it's hard to have sort of like the one-on-one time. But we are in the process of, figuring that out. And once we kind of nail that in, ideally by the end of the year, I'd like to see myself doing, bringing in 500, $1,000 cash collected. I think that that would be a substantial goal. And then just kind of moving forward from there.
I mean, that's completely achievable. You guys just did quarter mil in revenue the first
Yeah.
30 days. So, and then your turnover time was just hours. It wasn't even weeks. 'Cause most company takes weeks and months to ramp up reps. You did in hours. So,
Yeah, actually, I really only had a weekend to just prep and prepare. And then, it was like a Monday morning, I had my first call and then just closed it. So,
no, kind of have maybe like two more before you go, Sophia.
yeah.
So, one, if you were to start completely over, right, at the sales journey before you became an agent, right, working with Manny, what would you do? And let's say Innovate did exist back there and you did know of it, and before you got into like the luxury sales stuff, what exactly would you do differently? Would you go into high ticket sales first? What would
Oh,
you?
100%, 100%. I mean, I did spend a lot of time, balancing school as well. I have a bachelor's degree in business. And if I could really rewind time and start things over, I definitely wouldn't have gone to college. And I would have just straight from high school probably just entered into this high ticket space because there's so much potential. People, I don't think even know it existed, and I didn't until I came across this random offer on Instagram.
It's still not even talked about.
Yeah.
Not at all. So no, no. So I'm gonna cut it a little bit short here, Sophia. I know you're tight on time. Okay, so if you guys want to recreate success just like Sophia's, right? Because I know there's a lot of people that watch this. Maybe you are wanting to get into high ticket sales. You are an existing sales rep that is looking to get on offers. There's gonna be a link in the description for you guys to book a call with either me, myself, or my team. Okay. And also there's also for people that want to learn, don't spend thousands on stupid ass courses. I will also leave a free PDF and doc for you guys. It has like 50 hours of training. So you can get into high ticket sales. So you don't have to pay thousands of dollars for a shitty ass course like I did when I started out. There's going to be a free resource for you guys to go consume, go learn, so you can get into it as well. And the last person I'm talking to are the founders that watch on my YouTube channel. If you are a founder, you're doing 100K a month plus. One of the goals for me with Innovate is to partner up with 500 to 1,000 CEOs and founders within the next 1 to 5 years, creating a portfolio of $50 million a year. If that is someone that is you, and you are looking to either one, hire talent, two, scale your offer, I would love to have a conversation with you guys to see if we can help each other out. There's also going to be a link for you guys to book a call. Okay. And no, Sophia, I appreciate you for hopping on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.